So I know it's really normal to get nervous, especially for these interviews. As you're going into it, a lot of people you know are going to be assessing you, the faculty members, the students, all of those different things. It's really important to take a breath, practice some mindfulness, really get centered in and just do your best and be yourself. What is up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Phil Sarpong. This is Phil's Guide to PsyD. This channel is dedicated to all things psychology, wellness, and graduate school. So the question that we have today is what to not do in a clinical psychology interview. We've done several videos on this topic, but I'm gonna add some different details that I haven't added to in the past. So I know it's really normal to get nervous, especially for these interviews. As you're going into it, a lot of people you know are going to be assessing you, the faculty members, the students, all of those different things. It's really important to take a breath, practice some mindfulness, really get centered in and just do your best and be yourself, right? One of the things to not do in interview settings is to not really answer the question. So for example, if one of the faculty members or whoever is assessing you asks you a question, you want to do your best to make sure that you answer the question. Now, this may seem surprising for you guys, but you guys will not believe how many times people have shared that they got so nervous when they heard the question that they just started rambling and didn't actually answer the question. And a lot of that is just nerves. So again, really pay attention to what they are asking you and try your best to specifically directly answer that question. The reason I say that is that some sites assess students based on a point system. So for example, if they ask you a question, they're not just looking for the quality of your response, they're also looking to make sure that they can check off every element of the question that they asked you. So for example, if they ask you about potential clinical positions or different things that you want to do in the field, they want to make sure that, okay, they checked this box off, they checked this box off, they answered this part of this question. So they may give you like a three-part question and expect you to make sure that you answer every single part. If you only end up answering one part, but you sounded amazing while doing so, that's actually gonna dock you in terms of a point system, especially when they use that point system and they compare it to other students who actually did answer the question. So that's why it's important, is that you should really answer the question, not just because it's good to do, but also because you might be assessed on a point system where if they are docking you points for not actually answering the question, that's going to hurt you in the long term in terms of the interview. So that's just something to keep in mind. The second thing is to try not to speak too much. You want them to kind of drive and direct the interview. Of course, you don't want to just provide one-word answers, but you do want to, again, kind of going back to what I said the first time, answering the question, but being very directive in terms of not rambling or speaking too much. The third thing that happens a lot, the person will either pretend that they heard the question, but maybe they actually didn't hear the question. If they ask you, where did you go to school for your undergrad, and you think that they said something completely different, and you just start talking about something that's completely different, that again, of course, is not going to look good. And so a lot of times people will have to really slow themselves down and really make sure that they're paying attention to the question that's being asked. And if you don't hear the question properly, or you need some clarity or clarification on the question, please ask for that clarification. All right, and the last thing to not do, don't try and be someone or something that you normally are not. Of course, it is really hard in interviews because you want to put out your best self, and you're kind of in this weird level of being on all the time, being nice to everybody. And of course, you do want to appear that you are interested in the interview, of course, and in the school and all of those other different things. But at the same time, you don't want to get to a point, there is a balance to it, right? You don't want to get to a point where you actually start performing and becoming someone that you're not. What's interesting about clinical psychology interviews is that you have a bunch of psychologists who are trained at assessing human behavior and understanding body mechanics and body language and all of those things. And so you are being assessed by professionals who know what they're doing. And so I think that's why it's like really important for you to not try and pretend to be someone else that you're not, and to just be your genuine, true self. If you guys have any questions or if you guys have any thoughts or comments, please put it down in the comment section below. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.